The turkey wasn't the only thing getting roasted at my parents' Thanksgiving table. My brother Derek had spent the last 20 minutes systematically destroying my career choice in front of our entire extended family, wine glass in hand and smirk firmly in place. "Still playing with numbers at the bank?" he said loudly, making sure Cousin Emma and her new fiancé could hear from across the room. "I mean, someone has to do the boring work while real entrepreneurs build empires, right?" I carefully set down my fork, my appetite gone. Mom shot me a warning look, the same one she'd been giving me since we were kids, the one that said, "Don't sink to his level." But after 32 years of being Derek Morrison's little sister, I was running out of cheeks to turn. "I'm a senior loan officer at First National," I said quietly. "I help businesses grow." "Help?" Derek laughed, the sound sharp as carving knives. "You mean you sit in a cubicle and rubber stamp paperwork? Meanwhile, I'm about to close the biggest deal of my career. $2 million in funding for my new tech venture. You'll probably see it cross your little desk next week." My stomach dropped, but I kept my face neutral. "Tech venture? I thought you were in real estate." "Was. Past tense. That's the difference between us, Valerie. You're still doing the same thing you were doing 5 years ago. I evolve. I see opportunities." He gestured expansively, nearly knocking over Aunt Margaret's wine. "This AI startup is going to revolutionize medical billing. My investor meeting is Monday, but it's basically a done deal. They're practically throwing money at me." "That's wonderful, honey," Mom interjected, desperately trying to defuse the tension. "Valerie, tell everyone about your promotion." "It's nothing," I mumbled, but Derek was already rolling his eyes. "Let me guess, senior associate assistant manager, or some made-up title like that. Corporate ladder climbing is so 1990s, Val. Real money is in entrepreneurship." "It's senior loan officer," Dad said firmly. "She evaluates major commercial loans. It's important work." "Important," Derek snorted. "She's a gatekeeper, Dad. A bureaucrat. No offense, Val, but people like you are why real innovators have to jump through hoops to get funding. You wouldn't understand vision if it hit you in the face." I felt my cheeks burning. Around the table, relatives were studying their plates, uncomfortable but unwilling to intervene. This was classic Derek, publicly humiliating me while maintaining plausible deniability that he was just joking around. "I understand plenty," I said carefully. "Really? Then explain why banks make it so hard for legitimate businesses to get funding." "Oh wait, you can't, because you just follow the rulebook. No creativity, no risk-taking, no vision. Just policies and procedures." "Derek," his wife Brittany said softly, "maybe we should." "I'm just saying," he continued, ignoring her. "Some of us are building the future while others are filing reports. No shame in being average, Val. Someone has to be." The word average hit like a slap. It always did. Derek had been calling me that since high school. Average student, average athlete, average looks. When I'd gotten into state school while he went Ivy League, he'd patted my head and said, "Average people need education too." Never mind that I'd graduated summa cum laude. Never mind that I'd worked my way up from teller to loan officer in 5 years. Never mind that I'd helped dozens of small businesses achieve their dreams. To Derek, I would always be his average little sister, playing it safe while he conquered the world. "You're right," I said finally. "I do follow rules. Like the rule about not discussing pending loan applications at family dinners." "What pending?" His face changed as realization dawned. "Wait, you're not. First National isn't." "Enjoy your pie, Derek," I said, standing up. "I need some air." I walked out to the back porch, hands shaking. Behind me, I heard the dining room explode in confused voices, Derek's rising above them all. But I needed space to think. Monday was going to be interesting. The loan application had hit my desk a week before Thanksgiving. Morrison Technologies, LLC, requesting $2 million for revolutionary AI-powered medical billing software. I'd nearly choked on my coffee when I saw the name. My brother applying for a loan at my branch, in my department, likely to cross my desk. I'd immediately gone to my boss, Patricia Huang, to request reassignment. "Conflict of interest," I'd explained. "The applicant is my brother." Patricia had reviewed the file, her expression growing more skeptical with each page. "This is your brother? The one who called you a pencil pusher at the company picnic?" I'd forgotten she'd overheard that. "The same." She'd continued reading. "Valerie, I'm looking at this application, and there are significant issues. Red flags everywhere. Even if you weren't related, this would be a tough sell." All the more reason to reassign it. I don't want any appearance of bias. Actually, Patricia had said slowly, I think you should handle it. Document everything, of course. But you're my best analyst. If anyone can evaluate this fairly, it's you. And if it gets denied, which looking at these numbers seems likely, better it come from someone who bent over backward to be objective than someone he could claim was prejudiced against him. He'll say I'm prejudiced anyway. Maybe. But the paper trail won't lie. Your reputation for fairness is impeccable. That's why I'm trusting you with this. So I'd taken the file home, spreading the documents across my kitchen table, hoping to find something, anything, that would justify approval. This was still my brother, after all. Despite everything, part of me wanted to help him succeed. But the more I dug, the worse it looked. Derek's revolutionary AI? It was essentially a chatbot with basic keyword recognition, nowhere near sophisticated enough to handle complex medical billing. His proven track record? A string of failed ventures over the past 5 years, each abandoned when the next shiny opportunity arose. His financial projections? Pure fantasy, assuming 500% growth in year one with no marketing budget. The worst part was the lies. He'd claimed to have contracts with 3 major hospitals. I'd called each one. They'd never heard of Morrison Technologies. He'd listed a team of top engineers. LinkedIn searches revealed they were all freelancers he'd hired for a week to build a demo. His cited revenue from previous ventures? Inflated by a factor of 10. Any other applicant would have been rejected within hours. But because it was Derek, I'd spent days verifying every detail, double-checking every calculation, hoping to find something salvageable. I'd found nothing but more lies. Standing on my parents' porch, listening to Derek's muffled shouting through the windows, I made my decision. I would process his application exactly as I would any other, professionally, thoroughly, and without regard to our personal relationship. Monday morning arrived gray and drizzly, matching my mood. I'd spent the weekend fielding angry texts from Derek, pleading calls from Mom, and even a LinkedIn message from Brittany begging me to remember family comes first. I'd responded to none of them. At 9 a.m. sharp, Derek strutted into First National wearing his most expensive suit, cologne preceding him by several feet. I watched from my office window as he charmed the receptionist, his fake laugh echoing across the lobby. Ms. Morrison? My assistant knocked. Your 9:15 is here. Send him in. Derek entered with his salesman's smile, then faltered when he saw my expression. I wasn't his little sister here. I was Senior Loan Officer Morrison, and I had a job to do. Derek, please have a seat. Val, listen about Thanksgiving. Mr. Morrison, I interrupted, keeping my voice professional. This is a formal loan review meeting. Our personal relationship has no bearing on these proceedings. Everything will be documented and recorded according to bank policy. His smile faded. Seriously? You're going to play it like that? I'm going to conduct a standard application review. Shall we begin? I opened his file, my hand steady despite my racing heart. Morrison Technologies is requesting $2 million in startup funding. Let's start with your revenue projections. Can you explain how you arrived at these numbers? It's all in the business plan. I've read your business plan. I'm asking for clarification. You project $10 million in revenue by month 6. What's the basis for this projection? Derek shifted in his chair. Market analysis. The medical billing industry is worth billions. The industry, yes. But your specific product? Do you have any letters of intent from potential clients? I've had conversations. Documented conversations? Emails? Contracts? These things happen fast in tech, Val. You wouldn't understand. Try me. I pulled out a highlighted page. You claim to have partnerships with Mercy General, St. Mary's, and University Hospital. I contacted all 3. None have heard of Morrison Technologies. His face went red. Those are pending partnerships. Future tense. Your application states current partnerships. That's misrepresentation. It's forward thinking. It's fraud. I kept my voice level. You also claim to employ 15 engineers. My research shows you hired them for 1 week to build a demo, then terminated their contracts. That's how startups work. You hire as needed. You listed them as full-time employees. Another misrepresentation. I turned to the next flag. Your previous company, Morrison Real Estate Innovations. You claim it generated $2 million in revenue last year. IRS records show $200,000. Gross versus net. Both figures are gross, Derek. You inflated your revenue by a factor of 10. This is ridiculous. He stood up, pacing. You're nitpicking because you're jealous. You've always been jealous that I think bigger than you. Sit down, Mr. Morrison, or this meeting is over. He sat, glaring. Let's discuss your technology, I continued. You describe it as revolutionary AI. Our technical consultant reviewed your demo. It's a basic chatbot using off-the-shelf natural language processing. Nothing revolutionary about it. Your consultant is probably some old-timer who doesn't understand innovation. She's 28 with a PhD from MIT. I pulled out the technical report. She says, and I quote, "This product is at least 3 years behind current industry standards." Derek was sweating now, his expensive suit no armor against facts. You're sabotaging me. I'm doing my job. Which brings us to your credit history. I opened another folder. 6 failed businesses in 5 years. 3 bankruptcies. Multiple lawsuits from unpaid vendors. Those were strategic. Were the lawsuits strategic too? Johnston Construction is still trying to collect $50,000 from your flip project. That was a misunderstanding. Was it? Just like the misunderstanding with your previous investor who's suing for breach of contract. Derek's face cycled through emotions, anger, fear, desperation. Val, please. I need this. Then you should have submitted an honest application. I enhanced some details. You lied. Repeatedly. Comprehensively. About everything from revenue to partnerships to the basic nature of your product. Everyone exaggerates in business. No, Derek. They don't. The successful ones tell the truth because they have truth worth telling. I closed the file. Your application is denied. You can't. I can and I have. Furthermore, due to the fraudulent nature of your application, you're now flagged in our system. Any future applications will require additional scrutiny. He stood up so fast his chair tipped backward. This is personal. You're punishing me for Thanksgiving. This is professional. Your application failed on every metric we use. Insufficient collateral, unproven business model, falsified information, poor credit history, and no viable path to profitability. I'll go to another bank. You're welcome to try. But when they call for references, and they will, I'll be legally obligated to share my findings. You're destroying my dream. No, Derek. Your lies destroyed your dream. I'm just the one showing you the wreckage. He leaned across my desk, trying one last intimidation. You'll regret this. When my company succeeds without your help. Mr. Morrison, this meeting is over. Security will escort you out. Security? Are you serious? I pressed the button on my phone. Yes. You're being verbally aggressive, and given your history of lawsuits when things don't go your way, I'm protecting the bank's interests. 2 guards appeared at my door. Derek looked between them and me, finally understanding he'd lost. You know what your problem is, Val? He said as they led him away. You think small. Always have. That's why you'll always be average. Maybe, I called after him. But at least I'm honest. The door closed behind him, and I slumped in my chair. My hands were shaking, adrenaline coursing through me. I'd just destroyed my brother's latest scheme, and probably our relationship along with it. My phone buzzed. Patricia. Heard that went well. You okay? Define okay, I texted back. Fair. Take the afternoon if you need it. But I didn't leave. I had 3 more applications to review, all from legitimate businesses with real products and honest projections. A food truck expansion. A daycare center. A family hardware store updating their inventory system. Small dreams, maybe, but achievable ones. By 5 o'clock, I'd approved all 3. That evening, Mom called. Derek says you denied his loan out of spite. Derek lied on his application. Multiple times. Egregiously. He says everyone exaggerates. Mom, he claimed to have contracts he didn't have. Employees he didn't employ. Revenue he didn't earn. That's not exaggeration. It's fraud. But you could have helped him. I did help him. I stopped him from committing federal fraud. A lesser loan officer might have missed the lies and approved it. When he defaulted, and he would have, he'd be facing criminal charges. Silence. Then, he's your brother. And I'm his sister. Which is why I treated him like any other applicant instead of giving him special treatment that would have ruined us both. He's threatening to sue the bank. Let him. I documented everything. He has no case. Valerie, she sighed. Was it really that bad? Worse. I spared you the details, but he's been lying to all of us. Those successful ventures he brags about? All failed. The connections he claims? Mostly fictional. The money he throws around? Credit cards he can't pay off. Oh, another pause. He seemed so confident at dinner. Con artists usually are. We talked a bit more, Mom slowly accepting that her golden boy was tarnished. It hurt her, I could tell. Derek had always been her favorite. The charming one, the ambitious one, the one who was going to make it big. But sometimes the tortoise beats the hare by simply staying on the actual track. A week later, Brittany called. I wanted to apologize. I found Derek's real financial records. You were right about everything. I'm sorry, Brittany. Don't be. I needed to see it. We're separating. I can't build a life with someone who lies as easily as breathing. That must be hard. Less hard than wondering which bills are real and which are fantasies. She paused. He's telling everyone you're jealous of his success. Most people who actually know you aren't buying it. Let him tell whatever story he needs. You know what's ironic? He's now working at a bank. Entry level. Says he needs to understand the system to beat it. I had to laugh. Which bank? Community Credit Union. Downtown branch. Good for him. Maybe he'll learn something. 3 months later, I was promoted to Vice President of Commercial Lending. The youngest in the bank's history. Patricia threw a small party, and several clients I'd helped over the years sent congratulations. Derek didn't call. But I heard through Mom that he'd been fired from the credit union for trying to access customer information for research purposes. Some people never learn, but others do. The food truck I'd approved? They'd expanded to 3 trucks and were looking at a brick-and-mortar location. The daycare had a waiting list. The hardware store had become a community hub, offering workshops with their new equipment. Real dreams. Real businesses. Real success. That's what Derek never understood. Banking isn't about saying yes to every wild scheme. It's about recognizing which dreams have foundations strong enough to build on. It's about protecting both the dreamers and the people whose money makes dreams possible. Still playing with numbers at the bank, he'd mocked. Yes, still playing with numbers. Still reading between the lines. Still separating fiction from fact, potential from pretense, dreams from delusions. Still doing the average work of helping real people build real futures. And that feels anything but average to me. The next Thanksgiving, Derek didn't come. He was too busy with new ventures to make it. But over pie, Dad raised a toast. To Valerie, he said, for having the courage to do the right thing, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard, Mom added, squeezing my hand. Around the table, aunts and uncles and cousins nodded. They'd all heard Derek's version of events. But they'd also heard about my promotion, about the businesses I'd helped, about the integrity I'd shown. To playing with numbers, Cousin Emma said with a grin. And playing them well. We clinked glasses, and for the first time in years, I felt like I wasn't in Derek's shadow. I was standing in my own light, modest but steady. Later, helping Mom with dishes, she said quietly, I'm proud of you. I should have said it sooner, but I'm proud. Thanks, Mom. Derek called yesterday. He's starting another company. Says this one's foolproof. Of course he is. He asked if you'd look at his business plan. Unofficially. I laughed, really laughed. Tell him my consulting fee is $500 an hour. Payable in advance. In cash. Mom smiled. That's my banker. Yes, that's exactly what I am. A banker. A gatekeeper. A bureaucrat who follows rules and procedures and policies. Also, a protector of dreams that deserve protecting. A builder of bridges between vision and reality. A translator of numbers into futures. Not average. Never average. Just honest about what the numbers really say.